story about that, but I'll share that at another time about my name. That where the origin is it from the origin from the name and
Yeah.
just the name in general. It's just hilarious.
All right, gentlemen, we are live on YouTube. Welcome
All right,
to
cool.
Gamerz Realm. I am excited that we are here today. We have our special guest Kotetsu with us today. You want to go ahead and say hi real quick?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Um, I'm sorry, I got thrown off a little
No,
bit.
it's all right. No, I'll go ahead and introduce everybody real quick while you get prepared.
All right.
We have Black Pokemon Trainer, Level
Yo,
1 Up. We
what's
have
up?
Mr. Switch.
What's going on?
And if you guys noticed, QA Ninja is not here today. He got rear-ended, so he's taking care of that. He's safe, so he's good.
It's good.
Anyway, I just want to welcome everybody. If you can, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this. Comment below. We actually all have our devices ready to respond back. But without further ado, Kotetsu, we want to get into your history on your gaming, on what it took for you to get into games, and your favorite video game.
All right, so my gaming history is it's fairly long. I'd say the first console I ever played was the Sega Genesis, 'cause my cousin had one, and then I asked for one for my birthday, and I ended up getting one. And first game for that was Sonic 2, and that was like the hardest game to play when you're a kid because you just don't have the tolerance to sit there and play Sonic 2. And I almost beat it once, and then my sisters decided to watch TV and turn the console off, so I had to start all over again. So it was brutal on there. From there on, I got a Nintendo 64. Of course, you got to get Mario 64 with Nintendo 64, Donkey Kong 64, Banjo-Kazooie, Smash Bros. Obviously, when that first came out, I was rocking that for a long time. And from there, GameCube, of course, Smash Bros. When it first came out, Luigi's Mansion. I have stories about Luigi's Mansion, and I skipped the Wii U because we just can't afford all the consoles in the world, so I skipped the Wii U. Then I went to PlayStation, so I had a PlayStation 2, and just kind of continued to go from there. Then I made my way back to Nintendo with the Wii U, which is crazy because when you look at these games for like Nintendo, like Mario and Star Fox, you just get this feeling of just having an amazing good time. You just feel like a kid again, and you're just literally just going through playing these amazing levels and just enjoying everything about it. And yeah, and then now I have a Switch and PS4 and PC gaming again. So yes, that's pretty much my kind of long but short gaming history. Oh gosh, favorite game of all time, man. That is, I can definitely pick one from my top 5, which is gonna change probably tomorrow. Definitely the Star Fox. Star Fox is probably one of my favorite games of all time because my dad was into huge like flight simulators, and then one day he was just like, "Hey, David, have you played this?" And I was like, "Oh, what is it? It's Star Fox 64." And I'm like, "Oh no, let's try it." And I like fell in love with it like all the way. Me and my dad will play Star Fox 64 all the time, and from there on I just love Star Fox. Like now I'm still trying to like get Nintendo to do Star Fox Adventures 2 for the Switch in some whenever way, shape, or form. I'm like, dude, hey, look at what's the character from Breath of the Wild? Riolo or something, the bird Riolo. And I'm like, dude, this is Falco, Star Fox Adventures 2 right here. Like, what are you doing? So like, every time I'm like, dude, this is Falco. All you gotta do is get Fox, Slippy, and Pepe, and you're straight. This is a game right here, Star Fox Adventures 2. But yeah, I say Star Fox is probably my favorite just game in general.
Did I hear you correctly? And you said you skipped the Wii U.
Yeah, I skipped the Wii.
Okay, all right. So you played Star Fox. You played Star Fox Zero then.
Yes, I did everything in Star Fox. Once I did the first, and you know what's funny? Because when I played Star Fox Zero, I didn't really realize there were so many paths you can take. And I was like, wait, there's all these different paths. And I was like, hold on a second. So I went back to Star Fox 64. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's like all these different paths you can take in Star Fox 64 too. So then I just end up doing that. And but yeah, I skipped the Wii because Well, first of all, we couldn't afford it, and there wasn't too many games besides Smash Bros. Brawl that I really wanted to get for the Wii. My cousin had a Wii, so we just played on his. We just played on his Wii whenever I go over. So
nice.
All right.
I feel like you missed out on Wii boxing, bro.
Oh,
no, I didn't.
Foxy.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. Board. Remember the Wii Fit board?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Come on.
No, I didn't miss out on that. You know why? Because I literally saw my cousins had it, and then they had a Wii board, and it was just too many accidents, and I was just like, yeah, thank God I skipped the Wii, because that was just a year of experimenting for Nintendo. Like the Wii remotes was definitely an experiment. Like the videos where people were like, yeah, we're gonna play tennis, and don't just ignore the warning. Hey, put the wrist strap on before you play these games, and everyone's like, no, we can still play. You get these videos where they, swing the ball, or whatever, and the remote goes flying into a TV screen, and it's like they clearly know because they put a warning saying wear a wristband, your wrist strap on the thing. So
wow. Man, the Wii was kind of cool because like my wife and I, we went to the thrift store and they had a brand new Wii board and it was like $5. So I was like, I took a gamble on that and I pulled it out and used it. My wife goes, still using that thing? And I was like, because dude, I played that snowboarding and you're just like trying to go on it, man. You're right, it's accident.
Yeah, that was experimental year for Nintendo before they say, what you gonna do with you?
All right. Well, I'm gonna piggyback off yours on my topic, Kotetsu. So I don't want to start mine right now. I'll piggyback later on. But that was a good topic. Good intro. I want to start with Black Pokemon Trainer. Let's go with your topic.
All right, guys. As you guys know, there's been some leaks going on around here, mainly surrounding The Last of Us 2. Now, a lot of you guys are not I know I'm sure a lot of you guys are not PlayStation gamers, but the original Last of Us was one of the best games that came out like in terms of ratings. So there was a leak. A group of hackers hacked into PlayStation or Naughty Dog. I'm not sure which one it is, but somebody got hacked, and there was a leak of a lot of gameplay, a lot of story. And, there's a lot of spoilers in it. Now, I am not the person who likes spoilers in his video games or in his trailers for video games. Like, it pisses me off. I don't want to know, like, what the story's going to be. Like, I want to come into this fresh. Like, I don't mind seeing gameplay, but I want to be surprised. And I feel like this is going to start being a trend soon, unfortunately. If it's not going to be a trend, there's going to be, a lot of companies that's going to be releasing spoilers for their games in the future. Final Fantasy VII, the remake, did it with theirs. They had a bunch of spoilers and with their last trailer, and I just stayed away from it. So we got a lot of games coming out soon. Last of Us 2, Cyberpunk, Breath of the Wild 2022. What games? I'm going to open this up to the floor. What games would you guys be upset about? Like if you found out there was huge spoilers, huge leaks, and like now like the whole game's ruined for you, and it will kind of just ruin your will to play a game.
Breath of the Wild 2, hands down. I don't want to hear anything about that game, any spoilers or anything until it comes out, just because I love that series. It's my favorite series of all time. And I kind of, I think it's going to be more story-based this time. So I would not want that, leaked at all. But, Nintendo, everything gets leaked. I don't know how, but,
It's not a leak, guys. Come on. It's like on purpose. Come on.
Yeah.
They're just putting it out there. They call it the leak.
Yeah, I have to agree with Retro. I have to agree with Retro on that. That's just building hype. It's it was leaked. I'm like, okay, really?
Because everybody's all, the leak. So everybody kind of click. It's a clickbait thing. They click on it. They check it out. Oh, it's a leak. It must be true.
Yeah. Yeah, but I agree with Retro on that one.
No. Speaking of games, you were talking about Black Pokemon Trainer, is that they were talking about all those Mario games coming out. Holy macaroni.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they don't put those at a $60 price point, which wouldn't put it past that they would, but that would be good if they put them all at least a $40 price point, because imagine them remaking all those.
Mm-hmm. But this is also a Nintendo.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said put it past me.
Here's my opinion on it, and I'm gonna use reference the Super Mario U Deluxe, a game that was re-released, and it came out at a $60 price point. Now, and this is a Mario game. Now, in my opinion, it wasn't like the best Mario game that they could have came out with. Actually, they could have released. We could have released Mario 64, Sunshine, even Super Mario Bros 3D World. They could have re-released that too, but they gave us the Wii U Deluxe version, whatever. But that being said, that had a $60 price point, which I don't think it was worth it. I think it should have been released at half the price at $29.99. Now, that also tells me that if they're going to release another Mario game, like let's say if they remaster Sunshine if they remaster Sunshine, I also believe that's going to come out at a price point of $59.99.
Yeah.
If they do it with any other Mario game, with the exception of maybe Mario 64, because that's a little bit on the older side. But you can do a lot with Sunshine to make it look a lot better, and then release it with that price point. Resident Evil Remake 3, released it at a $60 price point when it wasn't worth the $60. The game was like 5 hours long, and there's no extra content. So I feel like that's just something that's just going to happen if they release any of the games that came out GameCube and then move it on forward. Because they did it with The Legend of Zelda 2 when they released Wind Waker and Twilight Princess for the Wii U, $59.99, and I think that's just going to be a trend going on.
Yeah, because I completely agree with you on that one, because if you look at based on their past games that they released for the Switch so far, every single game that was on the Wii U has been $60. Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, and guess what? Mario Kart is their best-selling game on the Switch right now. So, and they know people will buy this stuff. That's why they're going to keep it at a $60 price range. As far as the new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, guess what? That sold more than Mario Maker did. That blows my mind. So I don't think they're going to release anything but $60 for these games, just because the fact that they know people will buy them, and that's unfortunate.
Especially right now, we're in a pandemic, and people are buying games digitally like crazy.
Mhm.
Physical games right now are like in the wild, so they're like hard to find. So right now, Nintendo's smart to have their products online and available and ready, because downloads are unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Going back to BA Gamers, I still call you BA Gamer, dude. You're always BA Gamer. Always. I knew you before you were a Pokemon trainer.
We knew him.
Remember the roots. But no, I going back to what he was talking about, with these re-releases of these older games, being a full price point. I do agree to a point where I'm like, okay, well, to re-release, what was it like, Mario Bros. Wii U at a full price point? Okay, that's kind of sucky. But if you think about it too, it's like, with these games that are re-releasing, if they're re-releasing it and it had content on it, I would agree that, okay, making it a full price point would make sense, because we're not only just getting the games, we're getting the $30, the DLC that costs $30. So if they would have said, oh, we're going to re-release the game at a lesser price point, well, we're going to give you guys the DLC separately, then that would suck. And then it's funny because there's never a win-win, because if they say, hey, we'll release Super Mario Bros. For the Wii U for the Switch for $39.99, but guess what? You got to pay for the Luigi's one for another $20. Now you get people like, well, why we got to do that? Why we got to download the DLC? So why just make it all one? And when they do make it all one, people are like, well, it's too much money. So, but I do agree that some of these games don't have to be like full price point. And I do agree with you when you said Resident Evil was a full price game, it was only 5 hours. I agree with that. I'm like, dude, this game was like, Resident Evil 2 was way longer and was a lot harder than RE3. RE3 was too easy. And I don't like playing Resident Evil games like that, but I finished that game in like 2 hours. That's how fast it was.
Wow.
But
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How about Final Fantasy 7?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7. That price point is correct. 100%. Yeah. That's exactly where that should be. Because
honestly, the old version is still one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best versions. I don't know, it's because I like retro games, but because I grew up when Sony came out,
Yeah,
and that
same
was
here.
hot. That was competing with the Nintendo 64, and
Mm-hmm.
and it was like role-playing games had been out in the past, but it was nothing like that when it came out. And that's when I first found out about the Final Fantasy series, and it was just something like, it's still incredible to me. It has a good soundtrack and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I grew up with that too. I think Final Fantasy VII really helped RPGs back then too, because there weren't too many that were like that. But I think Final Fantasy VII was the one that kind of said, "Oh, wait, this is a role playing game. Well, what other role playing games like this are there?" And then people would, actually search the crates or whatever back then to see. Oh, well, there's this. There's Chrono Trigger. If you guys remember Chrono Trigger, there's Xenosaga, which is like one of my favorite ones on the PlayStation. So, but Final Fantasy VII Remake is definitely deserves the price point it was at, because it was a game that's built from the bottom, and they just built on top of it, made it better. It took them a little bit, but I think the price point was good with that one. And that goes to the point where it's like, okay, well, when it comes to remakes, what's a good price for remakes? Is it to a point where it's like, okay, well, is it like just a re-render? If it's a re-render, then there's no way we're gonna spend $60. So if it's something that said we built this game from the ground up again, then I understand the price point that they put some of these games at.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like I feel like even like if you don't like modern games, that's fine. I still feel like the Final Fantasy VII Remake story is good enough to buy for that price point as well. Now, if you don't want to buy, if you just want to watch the story, go ahead and watch it on YouTube, and like you can compare the things from the original Final Fantasy to what's on the new one, and like there is a lot of comparison. There's a lot of parallel.
Oh
and,
yeah,
it's definitely enjoyable. It's worth $60.
But I'll say this though. You won't enjoy it the same if you watch it on.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I told myself I'm not watching this game on YouTube. I'm buying this game.
For
I won't
sure.
eat for a week so I can play this game.
Oh yeah. All right, Black Pokemon Trainer, we all good?
Oh, we're good here. I don't have anything else to talk about.
All right. Level 1 up. Your turn.
Level 1 up? Really?
And you know what's funny? I don't ever I don't even know I just said, do 1 up. What's up? When I'm I'm just like, do 1 up.
Hey, in the group chat, I call you many things. 1 up, level 1 up, shorten it up.
I'm just messing with you.
It's all right. Hey, we have a good sense of humor here. That's what I like about this, man. Get a good laugh. My wife even says, "Babe, you make words up all the time."
Oh yeah. Well, if you guys watch any of my streams, I butcher people's names all the time. I can't read people's names, so it's all good.
Hey, I love you guys.
Oh, man.
All right, I just want to go over some recent releases that released on the Switch. You guys saw a pretty cool game that I played last week called Levelhead. It's basically a Mario Maker type game that was made by five guys. It's an indie game, but it's very similar to Mario Maker. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm going to put more content like that on my channel of that game because I think it deserves more love. New Retro said it's currently free on mobile right now. That's pretty cool. $20 on the Switch, but I mean it's a good price. I mean I don't regret paying $20 on it for my Switch.
I just want to try it now because it's free. That way I can kind of get a feel for it. Because the gameplay looks cool, but if I could get a good feel for it now, and then it'd be worth buying on the Switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like on handheld, on the phone, I think making levels would be really easy, but you might have some difficulty like playing the actual game.
Oh, sure.
I have issues with touchscreen controls with games like that. But on released on the same day was Streets of Rage 4, which you guys are have been enjoying too. I have not tried that game out yet. I'll try it eventually, but I'm a huge fan of that series, though, so I'm excited about that.
It's an amazing game, just saying.
Yes, it is.
Is it worth the $24 price point?
Dude, it's 22 right now, and it's worth it.
Really?
They actually went back up to 24, unfortunately.
It did?
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah,
but $24 isn't that bad.
It's not bad, though. It's not bad.
That's
not bad. And they give you enough to do for it to be $24. So.
And it's cool that they don't offer, well, that's my topic. I'm not going to go into it, but
let's see here. There's Spirit of the North. I'm not sure about that game. I've never even heard of that one. And then there's one that released today called Super Mash. You guys heard of that one?
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
It's basically, yeah, it seems like something you would like, Retro. You can mash a couple of different games and you can create your own game kind of thing.
I saw that. I was actually looking at that. My daughter goes, Dad, we should get that game.
Yeah, it's been catching my eye. It's only $20 as well. I'm looking at it right now. It looks pretty sweet. Like you can combine like an RPG with a shooter, and like some of them might be flops, some of them might not be. So yeah, that one I might try that one out too. But yeah, is there any games that released that you guys are enjoying or are interested in currently?
Oh, you know what? The one game that I'm actually enjoying right now that was released, I think, a couple of weeks or on the 24th of April, Trials of Mana. Trials of Mana. That's Trials of Mana.
Yes.
I've never gotten to the Mana series before. I've heard of them, but I've never gotten into it. I think when they re-released The Secrets of Mana, someone was like, dude, that game is trash. Don't even touch it. And I was like, well, dang it. Well, what do I play? Because I kind of want to get into this. And then when I went to E3 last year and I saw Trials of Mana, I'm like, what is this game? And then someone was like, oh, it's just the Trials of Mana. I was like, it wasn't released out in the West when it was on the NES, but if you do get the collection of Mana, you get to play it. And I'm like, oh, I want to do that. But then I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to wait for Trials of Mana to come out. And once it did, I was like, all right, cool. And it's the one thing that really caught my eye, which really hooked me into the game, was the fact that these different class changes for your character. And I'm just like, whoa, like that's not, you don't really see that too much unless you're like playing a straight up MMO or something like that, where you can just class change like that. And to be able to like change you have like two, when you get your character to a certain level, you have two, classes you can change from. You can either change to a light class, like which like the element of light, or like a dark. And that I think they mentioned that has an effect on your story, your gameplay. So it has an effect on the end. So I'm like, dude, it makes you want to go back and play. And then plus there's 6 characters. Like the game's like you get 6 characters, you get to pick 3, you encounter the other 2 during this in the story. And you can absolutely go back and play as the other 3 or mix it up or do whatever. So there's just so much replayability. And they even said post game is like even better. So I'm just like, dude, I can't wait to even just get to the post game so I can see what else I can do in this game.
One game that I am patiently waiting for, and I feel like I've been waiting for about a year or two, is when they announced that they're going to be re-releasing Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which was originally a GameCube game.
Yeah, I remember that.
And like they're gonna make it multiplayer so you can play with your friends online. Now, if you guys remember back in the GameCube
that was
days,
local, wasn't it?
Yeah, back in the GameCube days, you had to have a GameCube and a Game Boy Advance, and you had to have the cord that connected the GameCube to Game Boy Advance.
That was such a pain. That was a pain, dude.
That sucked.
Yeah,
that was a pain.
Now they've been pushing back the release date. They're dangling this double cheeseburger in front of me that I cannot bite. And it's really frustrating.
I love how you use that.
The double cheeseburger.
Unfortunately, even though it says on their website that it's slated for summer 2019 or 2020 release, with everything that we have going on with the pandemic, I feel like it's going to get pushed back a little bit further, and it just upsets me.
And I feel like this year would be a perfect time to release it because there's really not much, coming out that we're aware of anyway. Yeah. At least until the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
I did have a question though for one up the game you were playing on your channel, and you mentioned that it was there's a mobile version.
Yeah.
Is there a way you can can you make levels on your mobile and then straight up throw it into a cloud and then grab it from the Switch?
Yes. Actually, in my last stream that I did, I found that out. There is a cloud service that you can make it on any platform and play it on your Switch or whatever you're playing on, like on your PC even too.
I think that's I think cloud gaming is such a revolution. Is going to be the thing. 100%.
That would be bad because you can't even do that with Mario Maker 2. Imagine doing all that with Levelhead and then throwing it up. You get your Switch on and you just right where you left off. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna download the mobile version. I'm gonna just try it out and see how it works. And it's pretty exciting stuff. Like if this is the future of what they can do with games, though, it's it's pretty awesome.
I feel like
I need to catch up if that's the case.
Right.
I
Right.
feel like it's a huge thing with PC gaming,
Ooh,
because
yeah.
like you can play anything on Steam, and then like the Steam will back up all your game data, and like for any reason you uninstall the game, or you get a new computer, or you go to someone else's computer and you download all the information from Steam and reinstall that game, all that data is right there
Yeah.
on that other computer that you're using. So it's
Mhm.
definitely going to be a thing in gaming in the future. It's going to be a cool thing to see in consoles, and like I feel like they're on their way, and it's gonna happen next year too.
This is definitely with Stadia. Stadia has already taken that step. Like Google
I think
Stadia.
Stadia was free
nice.
for like 30 or 60 days. It's not bad. The lag isn't that bad actually, considering that everybody's online. It's pretty cool. A lot of people are kind of against like cloud gaming, but you don't have to install it on your computer. All you have to do is play it through the Chrome browser.
Yeah, and that saves so much memory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it doesn't pull on your computers like GPU, your RAM, anything. It's just strictly online. Just depends on your internet service.
Yeah.
Didn't Nintendo experiment with cloud gaming with Resident Evil 7 in Japan as well?
They did it with Resident Evil 7, Assassin's Creed, and they did it with another one. It's called Phantasy Star Online, which I'm playing that. Which is I have a translated PC version, so I'm trying to figure out how to do that, but it definitely has to do something where it's just like you literally you get the cloud version and you can just log into your account and you can just play on your Switch, which
Pretty
takes like no data. Like took me like 5 minutes to download the cloud version, and it like took me less than that just to play. But it's just something I'm still trying to get around and trying to figure out how to do. But yeah, there's a couple of games that they did that with.
It's pretty cool.
That's cool. Are you all good? One up?
Yep, we're all good.
All right, so we're just gonna flow right into you, Kotetsu. We'll just flow right into you, what your topic is for today.
All right, cool. So the topic that I wanted to talk about is something that's pretty interesting. We all know all the major conventions are canceled because of this whole pandemic, but and I did a video on this too. There's someone who I feel who's like a huge, I don't want to even say a cog because he's so much more than that. He's like a huge pioneer, so involved in the gaming industry and the community. Jeff Keighley, if you guys know who he is, he's like everywhere, all conventions and everything. He actually set up this event called Summer Game Fest, which he literally is like a E3, but in the span of 4 months, where we're gonna be getting all these releases and gameplay trailers and all these from these major companies, like just to name a few, like Bethesda, Blizzard, Square Enix, and Sony, Microsoft. They're all gonna be involved in this, and I think the coolest thing about this is that we're going to be getting these live demos from these games that you would see, at E3. Or you would see like these long 2-hour lines for. We're eventually going to be getting these demos on these consoles. I think they did one already for Ghost Runner. The second the trailer was released, they're like, "Yo, there's a demo that's going to be on from this day to May 13th, so you guys can get a hold of it and play it as much as you want until that that time period runs out." And I think that's such an amazing event to have, especially right now. He even said, this is the time to kind of celebrate, gaming, because usually this is the time where we're all getting ready for E3 or getting ready for Gamescom or GCD or, any other, convention that's going to be happening within this time. And for him to kind of say, I want to set this up so we can, not miss out on this opportunity where all these developers can, might hold off on something, they can present it during this event time. And another thing he said, which holds true, when you go to these conventions, you wait 2-3 hours in these lines to play these 10-minute demos, and he mentioned, why not just be able to play them at the comfort of your own home as much as you want until that time span ends. And I think that's really cool. And it also pegs a question, that do you think this event is going to change how conventions are held? Are we still going to have the spectacle of E3, and then the people who can't go to E3 can definitely still enjoy everything, playing these downloadable demos or for the short time, Or are they just going to completely go digital and just say, hey, you know what? We're going to have our in-game events, our conferences, and everything live streaming. And then when we have a playable demo for you guys can go on PS4 or Steam or Xbox to go download these demos for the short time and get as much play time as you want before we close them out.
And that's what I was going to ask, if that's a thing that would actually eventually replace E3, because the question was, I was watching Spawnwave, and he said the question was that if E3, like this year, obviously due to the pandemic, it was canceled, everybody's doing their things digitally, and a lot of people over the years have been dropping from E3 anyhow. Future gaming, the Summer Game Fest is all online. That would raise the question, would online events like that be the best way to go? I think so, in my opinion, only because of the fact is you might be able to get a bigger audience of people that might not have been physically able to go. They're able to go online, especially like you said, Kotetsu, when they're throwing out the demos. Demos are cool. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I go on the Nintendo eShop, if something has a demo, I'm going to download that first. Only because it gives you a lot of the gameplay chopped up into like one small section, and it's easier for you to be able to see if you enjoy the game or if you don't. And it's pretty cool that they're offering that. I think that's going to be pretty revolutionary, because they're banking on people going online and being able to enjoy the Game Fest through a virtual environment like what we're doing now.
I feel like Nintendo's kind of like on that playing field already, because almost every game, that they had a demo for it at one time. And they're like the masters of the online event. Like they've been doing this for years now, and everyone else has to play catch up. The only issue that I see, couldn't there be a risk of data mining those demos if they do release them though to the public?
There's a way where they can fail safe it, where I was talking to someone about this, and if they have it on like a certain server where it's just that demo and that's it, there's nothing connected to it, then there's nothing to really grab. We were talking about it, it was so brief, but there's a way where not encrypting it, but not really holding on to any information that allows access to be able to get past it. Because if you guys remember, there's two games that there was an issue with that. Final Fantasy VII, if you guys remember, people somehow jumped on it. It appeared on accident, I guess, on the PSN store, and then people grabbed it, but they couldn't do anything with it. And people were just trying to get past it, and they got past it, and people were able to play the demo months before it was even released. And another game too was Trials of Mana, where there was a Steam demo, and people were able to find a way to get past that wall and continue to play the full game, because there was a full game locked behind the wall, which is in my eyes, I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you even allow that? Especially now, like hackers are like almost the world now, because there's so many more, and there's so many new tools and different ways to get past stuff. So when you have a full game locked behind a demo, that's never good. But I was talking to someone about that, and there's a way that they can do it without having to worry about too many data miners going in and trying to find what files are in here or whatnot. So then, if they do get in, there's nothing to see. All you're seeing is the demo itself. There's no, full game or any files locked behind there. But of course, eventually there's going to be a way someone's going to access the full game of anything. But going off of what Retro said, I think this is I think it's a good idea to be able to have a virtual thing, I think it'll be good to have both, because if you guys ever, I don't know if any of you guys have been to E3 or anything like that, but E3 is such an overwhelming experience when you go the first time. Like I went on the last day, and I was just like, whoa, dude, like, and I've been to the convention center so many times, but to be at E3 and in the convention center is like so much to see, and you're just so overwhelmed. And everything looks so pretty and look nice and all of that. But of course, there's the long lines. But if you want to avoid the long lines, you can just say, if they do this, you're like, hey, here's here's another way, alternative. You can just go here and play all these demos here, or it's experience the same thing at the comfort of your own home too. And you're right, it would draw a bigger audience. And then also for content creators, they would have more time to be able to spend time at E3 and get their stuff that they need to do, or press to spend their time to get what they need to get without having to feel pressured of all these other people coming in.
I'm going to bounce off of Kotetsu as well. I feel like what Jeff is doing is going to open up a lot of opportunity for people to kind of get together and do their own conventions. I believe there's not a lot of not a lot of virtual conventions out there right now as it is. So with the coronavirus and whatnot, it's going to open up a lot of opportunities, not just for video games to do online conventions, but for a lot of other genre and topics as well. Now, I always feel like there's always going to be a place for a physical convention. And the reason why is because we are human. So we love to communicate. We love to mingle. We love to talk to people. And I feel like once all of this Corona bullcrap is over, the next E3, like the next E3 that's going to be available right after this pandemic, is going to be huge. It's going to be tons of people. Tickets are probably going to sell out because, we haven't done anything for like months. And by the time that happens, it's probably a year. So, I feel like it's going to be the E3 is going to be a huge event. There's always going to be a physical convention that's going to be needed so that we can have that interaction with other people.
And plus the swag, man. The swag to have these conventions, you won't get them online.
That's true.
Yeah, like Black Pokemon Trainer was saying that it's true because people crave getting together and talking and physically interacting with people. So when you're at those conventions, like some of them you'll get to see like big YouTubers, like sometimes you'll get to see like Metal Jesus, you'll get to see people like John Riggs goes to E3 events. I mean, people that you wouldn't normally get to interact with, you get that physical interaction. So that I agree with, where the physical thing comes in. And Kotetsu, I do agree with you where you said the swag, the gear, like when anybody goes places, you go places to go, but you want something to remember it by. So you're gonna be like, this is what I got at E3. This is what I got at this other gaming event. So it's pretty cool. Like you probably have something that you bought in one of those places. No?
Yeah, I was reaching for it right now, dude. As you were saying, I was like, wait, I have something from there. When they had the booth for Ultimate Alliance 3, they were giving out these pins or these
nice. Sick.
And then I think I have another like badge or something sitting around here. Oh yeah, and I have my badge as well. So and yeah, you're right. You have those mementos where you're like, it's like one of those things where you go to a concert or a movie theater, you keep the ticket stubs so you can go look back and like, dude, I was here. So I have my E3 badge here, and I'm like, dude, I freaking finally got to go to E3 for the first time last year. Even though it was the last day, I still got to go.
Me and Mr. Switch were planning a trip to go to E3 this year, and it got.
Yep.
I was so devastated. I'm just kind of like,
we both had money set aside. We were gonna buy our tickets.
Oh yeah.
Our girls were sending us. We had a plan. It was gravy. I mean, it was smooth. And then the pandemic came, and I was like, bro.
I was about
to. Yeah, I was going to be there this year too.
Yeah, you guys would have met up with me.
Get that last one.
See, we can hook up Kotetsu.
I was going to get the big pack because there was two options. There was the original option, and then there was the pro whatever. I was going to pay a couple.
Oh yeah.
I had it already set, and then of course again, like Retro was saying, it just started to. I was like, I think we might cancel, but now, well, we still tried to buy, but then of course I made the decision to like, you know what? I don't think this is gonna happen. Even before they canceled it, I was like, this is not gonna happen. No way. This is creepy. This is happening, and then I canceled, and eventually, of course, a month later, it's canceled. But man, dude, if there isn't an E3 for me, the best choice for me is I like driving. I like going to the New York store.
Oh yeah, I've been to New York store, Nintendo New York store. It's actually really nice. I have a story about that too, but I don't want to take up time telling that story when I went to the New York store.
A lot of people always have positive things to say about the New York store, and I told my wife one day, because I've been in New York a couple times, but on my way back from doing missions trips in Africa, and I was like, oh cool, we got 4 hours, and then our ticket changed, bing, 1 hour, and I was like, come on, we went to the Nintendo store, it was right there.
Yeah, it's nice, man. I think that's another kind of crazy experience too, where you're just like, this is the only Nintendo store in the U.S. There's no other place anywhere besides New York. That's the only place that's there, and it's a really cool place. You know, like you want to spend money there, even though you don't have it. You want to spend money there.
You might want to.
You know that you could put one in like California. I mean,
right?
They should, right?
I don't know why they don't really.
Back in the early 2000s, there was actually a little mini version of the Nintendo store on our main street where I live. And after a couple of years, it just went by the wayside. I was like, come on, man. I went in there one day to go. I like to go like browse, you know, and then see if I want to buy something. And my brother and I were like, dude, what happened to the Nintendo store? Come on. What's wrong?
Gone, man. You see, all you see is like tumbleweed and like the sign hanging off the store.
Yeah, like a couple of sad nerds walking down the street. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
There's no place for nerds to buy their Nintendo stuff. Come on.
I know.
Right.
We love money. Let's do it.
Right.
I'm gonna say this, and you guys are gonna hate me for it, but the best thing we got right now is GameStop.
Right.
Don't even,
And
don't even go there.
I love GameStop.
it's not even GameStop anymore. I think I went in there once. I was like, why are you guys selling T-shirts now? Like, what the heck?
Oh yeah, they sell kinds of stuff like.
Like, well, you guys selling
Funko
socks
Pops,
in here now?
T-shirts, everything.
Socks?
Yeah, socks, beanies, hats, jackets, everything. I mean,
Because they're not playing games anymore, so they have to sell merch. You know what I mean? And did you guys remember when they first opened a long time ago? Like they used to sell movies too. And
I remember that. Yeah, I think what was it? It was called like EB. It was a couple
games.
EB
called
games.
EB games. Yeah, and then it was like what was it? It was started with an F.
Now they got Reggie now.
Funko. No, that's not.
you know, that's really cool. They got Reggie from Nintendo there.
Yeah, I think I was talking to somebody about that, and we're like, he's definitely gonna make a big change because he was in the industry, and he knows what the industry will want from the stores and what we would want as consumers from the stores. I think that's gonna help him out a lot.
Yeah, and Nintendo was sad to see him go because he was such a big help to their company, and he retired, and then he showed up at GameStop. I told my wife, because she's into video games, so I was like, babe, this is gonna change the face of GameStop. Period. Game changer. Reggie,
and I hope it does too, because I don't want the store to close. I have a lot of issues with GameStop, but like there's no other place around where I live to really buy games other than Walmart.
Same.
You know what I mean?
It's
you can't trade.
like Toys R Us.
Yeah, yeah.
Toys R Us,
Oh,
what?
that hurt.
Toys R Us, what? The only ones that exist in Canada? Huh?
Yeah, it's like, you know, if you ever want to trade in games or you know, or buy old consoles, you know, you can't do that anywhere else. So you know.
And it's like you have the option to do it online or to do it with like other people, but then you have to worry about the whole bartering and thing. With GameStop, you don't have to worry about that. It's one flat, cheap ass fee that you'll get for your games.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Except I feel like I had the best experiences trading Nintendo games.
I
yeah,
just like their online store though. You can buy tons of retro games on there. There's some places where you can't find retro games, and I went on there to buy some. And they're not in full box, but at least they're the cart, and you can buy them online, which is cool. You can't do that a lot anymore.
I've gotten a couple of GameCube games, and I'm still trying to get Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, which came out for the GameCube.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
From GameStop, so I've been taking advantage of that. It's just a little pricey, but I feel like it's worth it. I feel like retro games are way more worth it than a lot of new ones that come out. So,
but I think you're missing one important game, man, that you didn't mention though.
What's that?
You gotta get Star Fox Adventures, man. How you forget about that?
Oh,
Star Fox Adventures, dude.
That's a good one. Okay, you got me.
I told you, I'm trying to advocate this Star Fox Adventures too. I'm trying to get this is a money grab for you guys.
You're really pushing that game, Kotetsu.
I'm trying to, man. Either re-release it and I'll promote it like crap and then just say, hey, Nintendo, Star Fox Adventures 2? Yeah, no.
That game was perfect.
I was trying to
man.
look to see if I still had it because I actually had it at one point, but I don't have it anymore. But
It's such a good game.
Star Fox Adventures 2, all his thumbnails.
Such a good game, man.
Oh, all right. So, Kotetsu, you all good on your topic? We're all good?
All good,
all right,
man.
Switch, you want to go?
I didn't have a topic this time. I was saving it till next week. I have to think of
All
something good, but I'm good. I'm good.
I do have a question for you guys if you have a minute here. Did you guys catch that? I'm sorry?
I said I'll do my topic as soon as you're done.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't go yet.
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead, man. It's good.
Did you guys catch the Xbox event yesterday?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh.
I did.
And what did you think of that?
Oh man.
The only game, and I did a video on this. The only game that caught. Let me just say this first. Their title was Xbox Series X gameplay live stream. I saw two gameplay videos, and I'm like, what's the point of this? What is your title? You guys are going, and then they did an apology stream later on today about, I don't know what it was for.
Really? They actually did that?
Oh my gosh.
I saw it. I was getting ready to set up with you guys, and I went on my feed, and I was just like, wait, what? And it was like Xbox something Series X, whatever, a conference apology gameplay conference. I was just like, so you guys know you guys did not deliver on your live stream yesterday.
Oh no.
No, the one game I thought that caught my eye is because I'm a huge anime person, and it was Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah.
When I saw Scarlet Nexus, I was just like, what is this game? I was like, oh my gosh, what is this game? I was like, what is this game that's you guys are showing me right now? And then at the end, I'm like, just tell me when. Just tell me when so I can give you guys my money right now.
Bandai Namco they're making that game, right?
Yeah. It reminds me so much of Astro Chain.
Yeah, it does. That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, it reminds me so much of Astro Chain.
And the graphics on that game was just
so beautiful,
so clear, so crisp.
So beautiful. And I'm hoping this is what I'm hoping because I have Xbox Gamer Pass on my PC. I'm hoping they have it for the Gamer Pass for PC and for Xbox One. So I'm like, cool, I can just get it for my PC, and then if I ever get an Xbox, I just automatically have it. And I think that's the cool thing. I think that's a cool thing that they're doing. Sony did this for a little bit, but then they stopped. If you buy a certain a game on the older gen, you automatically get it free for the newer one.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a trend for a little bit until your older gen is obsolete. But I think for what they're doing for the PC and for Xbox, they're kind of interchangeable. I think that's such a good idea to say, hey, if you buy it if you buy it or have the Xbox Gamer Pass on your PC, you will immediately have it for whatever Xbox gen you'll have it, you have for. I think that's an awesome thing because you're not forced to pay for it twice. And if you have it for your PC and it doesn't run on your PC, you're like, oh, cool, I have my Xbox right here. I'll just run it on my Xbox instead. I think that's an awesome idea that they're doing right now.
What I think would be cool is one of my coworkers at work, she has a physical Xbox disc, and she's been trying to get at Microsoft because she has the code, she has everything, but she wants to be able to have it on digital. What would be cool is if you actually saved your discs and they somehow were able to scan the barcode of your disc and you can show them physically that you do have it, if they could give it to you digitally signed in under your name, your code, and your everything. Because I think the Xbox and PS5, if I'm not mistaken, are going all digital, right? No physical.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
Yeah,
I heard something about that.
They're building all digital, and they're trying to, like you said, they're trying to make everything interchangeable. So it would be good of them, which would be good rapport for their company, is to do something like that. And just in my opinion,
I thought they said they were going to do physical as well.
Were they? Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, they've been changing a lot of things up. So
yeah, I heard the rumor of the all digital thing, and I was like, well, that makes sense because we're moving towards that, and it would make sense if it was all digital. But then also, if you think of it this way, that's gonna kill data. Like your memory's gonna be dead if you just I download everything, and my memory is dead. So I'm like, I gotta sacrifice stuff. I'm like, God, I don't want to sacrifice this right now because I'm playing it. But I'm
that's
like, all right, fine.
The Switch is already full of games. I already found a micro SD card, and it's almost to the max trying to get a new one.
Yeah, a terabyte is not enough anymore, guys. It
Not
really
more.
isn't.
Remember when it first came out? You're like, "What's a terabyte?
Oh,
What?
terabyte.
1,000 gigabytes? 1,000 gigabytes? Oh my gosh!"
Like I like
Yeah.
playing ESO on my Xbox, and that game literally takes 128 gigabytes of memory.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man,
Like, I bought a PS Pro, and I'm like, "Oh, terabyte, yo, let's go." I'm downloading the same amount of games I had on my regular PS4, so I'm like, I paid an extra $100 just to play the same amount of games on my PS4.
man, I recently had to clean out my PS4 because I didn't have enough room to download Final Fantasy VII.
Right? What is that? Like 80 gigs? I had to clear 3 games just to play that. I was like,
On my PC, I have 2 external 2 terabyte hard drives and 1 2 terabyte internal, and the main hard drive's a terabyte, and I've got them all almost filled up.
yeah, man, like terabyte isn't the same
It's
anymore.
not, yeah, like I had to recently buy a 6 terabyte, and that was like, whoa. And it was I told my wife when we first got our 2 terabyte, that 6 terabyte is as cheap as when we got our 2 terabyte.
Yeah.
That's because it's not enough space. Some games are like gigs and
Oh
gigs.
man.
Crazy.
Yeah, I have a 2 terabyte external hard drive for my Xbox, and that's not even enough anymore. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, because these games are getting more prettier, and they want to run smoother, so they got to make them bigger, or give us more content. So I'm not complaining about it, but I'm just like, yo, like hook me up with like another little memory card or something, so I can be able to play your game. Don't make me clear out my library so I can play your game.
Just wait until the first video game that comes out and it's 1 terabyte or 1.02
Yeah.
terabyte.
Right.
Did I hear right too that Xbox is kind of like going back to the memory cards too?
I pray they don't.
I thought I heard that.
I was
That'd
such
be
a pain back in the day.
That would be terrible.
Remember having to manage your memory cards?
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh
don't
my
even get me
God.
started on that.
Yeah.
I still got my PS1 with my memory cards.
Remember that? And it's like you had to you wanted to play a game. Oh, you need a memory card. Really? I was like, all right. So I like buy a memory card, and it's not even like memory. It's like slots. So if you don't have enough slots, you're not playing your game.
Yeah.
So did any of you guys do this? Because I feel like I did this when the GameCube first came out. When the GameCube first came out, I didn't have a memory card, and one of my favorite games to play was Melee. I never turned off my GameCube.
Did you leave the GameCube on?
Bro.
And like I got all the characters.
I did that too.
You just left it running?
I got all the maps. I kept it running. Eventually, my GameCube broke, and I had to get it replaced.
Oh man,
But
I did that.
I didn't have a memory card. And I just left it on just so that I can have all the characters, all the maps,
I did that
all
too.
the challenges. And
I'm reporting you to the Nintendo abuse hotline.
I did that too. Dude, I did that with Luigi's Mansion. Imagine that with Luigi's Mansion. I did that with Luigi's
You guys
Mansion.
are making me cringe. Stop saying that.
And like back then, I'm gonna make it worse. Back then, when I was a kid, I could only play games on the weekend.
Me too, man. I was right there with you. Yep, I was right there with you. Oh gosh.
Oh, God.
Too many memories.
Good times. Good
And
times.
you know what's funny? I tell the younger generation of gamers now, like you guys are so spoiled when it comes to having to save. Because that wasn't a thing when we were kids. Like on the Sega Genesis and the NES, that wasn't a thing. Only for certain games. You couldn't save everything. And then when we did get the save, you had to pay like $50 back then for a memory card that didn't hold everything. I was like, you guys are spoiled when it comes to saving. You guys are spoiled. You guys have to deal with that.
The worst thing ever is trying to beat Super Mario Brothers 3 in one sitting. That was ridiculous.
Oh, or when you're trying to beat it and then somebody accidentally knocks the console and
it like shakes and it just destroys it.
Don't even get me started. Me and my brother.
I gotta say it because I don't want to keep on with this, but I'd say the worst game that had a system where let you save was Mega Man X. That was the trashiest way to save a game. Hey, here's a 8-digit code. And if you're 8 years old, you're like, how am I going to remember this 8-digit code so I can go back and play these last other bosses? And they change every single time you finish a level. So it was horrible.
You're going to think I'm OCD, but when I played those Mega Mans, I had a notebook with crayons and markers what colors they were, everything. I wrote down all my codes. So when I got to play, it was on from right there.
Oh, that's old school right there, man.
I
love it.
My cousin did that. I was like, I ain't got time to do this. Like, I got to deal with numbers when I go to school. I'm not trying to deal with numbers. I'm trying to play Mega Man.
My friends laughed, and then they're like, "Hey, let's play Mega Man." I'm like, "Oh, all of a sudden you want my notebook, huh?"
I was like, yeah, miss me on that. Oh, God.
Oh, God. We're showing our age, guys.
Oh, I know. It's all right.
Right?
That's all right.
Who cares?
Hey, Red,
I'm only 29.
29? Who's 29?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
older.
right on.
Oh, that's right.
I'm older
Hey,
than someone.
you're
All right.
20.
Not the youngest.
Wow. Hey, we're all. Some of us are young at heart.
Right?
That's true.
That's right.
I don't disagree with that.
Oh, my gosh.
You're not the old at heart, are you? Come on.
When I'm working, yeah, that's about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You have to be serious.
Oh, man.
All right. So, what I want to talk about is the Streets of Rage 4. Oh, that's not even my main topic, but I just want to talk about that. Aside from that, it was really interesting that a lot of the makers of the Streets of Rage series got together, like the musicians got together, and you could tell the music was just right on point with it. You play it? Who's played it here, actually?
I have. I did a full 3-hour Let's Play of that game, and yeah, I agree. It felt like I was a kid just sitting down trying to play that game.
Didn't it feel like you were sitting in front of the Sega Genesis playing Streets of Rage again,
Yeah.
like for the first time?
100%. 100%.
And the combos were cool. I haven't beat the game yet, but I watched Cool Toy when he did his stream. He was able to unlock different characters, different modes, and I liked it. It does not have downloadable DLC. You can actually unlock it like the old school game. You beat it and unlock it, which was a win all the way across the board. That $24 is definitely a win, just in my opinion. And the fighting styles were cool because you can get those 19 combos. And I said it in my video, but it looked like Street Fighter when he rose up and the flame went like this, whoosh, where the fire. Yeah. And then he had those fire punches. But it was really cool how you were able to get it. And the bots almost seem like they move the same way. Some of them.
Yeah.
The character I hate the most is that guy with the knife. I hate that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
They put him back in there. I'm like, come on, you could have at least taken him out.
Yeah. Or at least made it easier to like get around the stupid knife and I have to jump and like time my kicks right.
I did notice one thing they changed was when you pick up like the health and stuff and you have an item in your hand, sometimes you can't pick up both.
Yeah, same
No,
here.
Yeah, because I went back and played Streets of Rage 2 just to make sure I was like wanted to be more accurate. So I played it and you were able to actually pick up the item while you had the weapon in your hand. So I'm not sure why they changed that, but I think because sometimes when you in Streets of Rage 2 where you pick up the health and then you have the weapon in your hand, I think it doesn't really skip per se, but it drops a frame for a second. Sometimes when there's so much going on, so maybe that's why they did that, just to cut that out. But it wasn't a bad feature they took out, but it was just something I did notice while I was playing. But other than that, the graphics were great. The soundtrack was great. It was just something that boom.
Nice.
Is it a remake or a remake or
it's a new game.
Oh, new game.
100% new game. It's 10 years later after 3.
Jeez.
Yeah, Axel, he was my favorite character because I don't know what character like Skate was cool, but something about Axel, and then they made him so beefy in this game.
Yeah.
He's all ripped. Like 10 years later, he went from this small fighter to this big old ripped buff.
Yeah, right.
He could slam people across the floor. It's pretty cool. The mechanics were cool. I feel like when it first came out, I'm not gonna lie, I really thought that it was gonna be like a mobile game, like a quick maybe cash. I can't say that, cash grab.
Yeah.
But just watching the development and how it played out, it actually was pretty cool. I actually wanted to see how everybody else enjoyed it before I downloaded it, because sometimes like you have a preconceived notion of a game. You're like, okay, I'm not sure yet, but I'm a fanatic of that series and I really want to get that game. And that was my point. I was a fanatic of the series and I really wanted to get the game, but I wanted to see if it was a quick cash grab or if it wasn't. And it was I would say if they put it for $60, it wouldn't have been worth it. But the $24 is for sure a good price point. All right, so earlier we talked about leaks. The Nintendo source codes. Oh my gosh. Have you guys been following that?
Yeah,
Ooh,
I've been following a little by little about that. Yeah,
the
it's kind of crazy.
source codes went back from the Nintendo 64.
Yeah,
the Wii,
that's some crazy stuff.
The GameCube, all the information on the build. And some people were speculating that some of the games were, but I'm pretty sure most of it had to do with like the builds. However, a lot of people are remaking game systems. So if those source codes are released, they can almost build for build get exactly how the mechanics of those systems work. That to me, I was like, now we talked about leaks being a word, like a popular word, but I believe that was a real true leak. I mean, those source codes were available for a short while, for just straight threw it out there. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's so funny because I was talking to one of my friends, Cliff, and we kind of went into this weird thing where we were talking about older consoles and like the older versions of like the Wii or something like back in like the 90s where it was just a concept, and then now it's like, you know, here. And going back and looking at that, it's just like, yo, like all these different like source codes, like they were saying, what they mentioned something where they were like, yo, like some of these 64 games were like planned for PC or something like that. I thought I heard like Mario 64 was planned for the PC or could have been released for the PC a while back. And it's kind of crazy. It's just like you said. If people are redesigning consoles and they can get a hold of those source codes, then they have, you know, they literally have their own console right here. They don't have to go buy another whatever. They have it built right here. All they need is the games, and they can just totally run them because, you know, all you need is a console. What is it? It's a code. It's like a key product. They can get the key products too. Dude, they don't have to worry about getting another console. They can just build their own right here from PC part of stuff, set it here, get a game from back then, whatever, and just load it in, and they have their own build console right there.
I did see though that they did release some source codes on Mario, and there was a fan that actually made a Mario 64 PC version. It's just the Mario 64 version, but playable on PC. If you like, go to YouTube and you Google it, it's available. And
that's crazy.
They put it, and they needed that source code to be able to release it. So when that thing was out, that person swiftly swooped in and got what they needed and put it out. But who's to say he really did? But I mean, highly speculated it happened around the same time because he had the game built but wasn't able to finish it. Source codes got released a week later, and that thing came out. But good for him. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know how else I could put that, but he got his game that he was building. But man, imagine having a 3D printer and let's say, oh man, my Wii broke. Well, no big deal. I got a 3D printer. I'll just make my own. And you have literally the Nintendo book in the palm of your hand. I saw that flying all over the internet, and I said, oh gosh, those people that are making those consoles that are, you know, knockoffs, they can pretty much just change one little thing about it and make even the sensors, like the Wii sensors, they can have the Wii sensors exactly down to a science because of that. Instead of actually having to guess, make it on their own, they can actually make it legit. And even the N64, but you know, my thing is with the N64, Hyperkin is actually building an N64 machine, so you're able to play it in HD anyways. So I mean, it's not like that kind of stuff's coming out, but to be able to play a console just like the N64 with the control. And
Retro, your photos, your video's getting kind of jumpy, like it's freezing. I don't know if it's me. Anyone experiencing that too?
Just a little bit on mine, just a little bit.
Mine,
so far,
it's a little bit. It's probably just Zoom.
Yeah.
You said it's really hot over there where you're at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably some. Yeah. I wanted to ask because you mentioned that Mario 64. That's the fully rendered one, right?
Yeah, it's like it's not the one that there's a fan that made one that looked just like it was 3D, but this is actually the N64 version, and they made it into
Okay.
a PC version. But that one you're talking about that's fully rendered, I've seen it, and it's amazing. I mean, it's totally down to the raindrops 3D.
Yeah.
That other one is cool. I watched all the videos. They keep saying they're going to release it. I believe now that they have the source codes to finally complete. You don't think so, One Up? You think they'll release it? What do you think?
Well, I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard today like Nintendo was kind of going after them and trying to shut them down before any of that happens. You know, if Nintendo has anything to do with it, I think they're gonna, you know, go after them because they've been doing that with a lot of their IPs lately.
Before we jump topics, I just want to let you guys know. I looked up.
That's a big deal. That to me is a big deal.
Oh yeah.
I looked up the video of I think it was by Unreal of them actually like porting over the game to the PC. The frame rate's amazing.
Yeah.
Everything looks smooth. Like it's literally what we will all want from Nintendo is PC ports for everything. And it looks absolutely amazing. I recommend you guys actually do
Isn't it cool?
And it's funny because like we've always asked like these developers like, hey, you know, just do this and just do these little things, and they're like, we're gonna wait till we make money. But then if you wait too long, someone's going to be able to do this and be like, oh, here you guys go, it's for free. And there's no need for us to even ask Nintendo for anything because we got it right here 100%. Like I would have loved the full, like that full render of I saw a full render of Majora's Mask, and I'm just like, dude, I'm looking like Nintendo, where you at? Like you see these people either hire them and have them do it and just pay them, or get up and do it yourself. Like you, and I get it, they're waiting for, you know, the certain time to do it, but if you wait too long, someone's gonna get it for themselves and they're gonna do it themselves, and we're not gonna have to wait for Nintendo because then we're gonna have it right here. Everyone should have a PC by now, so you should be able to, may not be the best specs, but you can get some of these games and like run, you know, like the Mario thing. I would love to be able to go and play that. Love to do that.
How did the source codes get leaked in the first place? Like, how did they even happen?
It didn't even say. It just said that they were leaked out on the internet. Like someone they're speculating it was somebody from the company. Obviously, they just threw it out there.
There was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Crazy.
Like terabytes worth of information.
Yeah,
like
a lot of stuff.
Dang.
Like
backlogs. I played the first level when the Unreal first made it. They had the castle and the first part of it where you first land in Mario 64. They had that part downloadable, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is tight. And then all of a sudden I've been following kind of what they've been doing over the years. And Nintendo, I always thought Nintendo, like Kotetsu said, I really do think that Nintendo should hire these people because they're talented, very talented.
Yeah,
and that's
like
their IP.
Yeah, that's the best way to kind of get around it. Just be like, hey, you guys, we saw you guys did this game. Why don't we guys give you a little bit of money? We'll let you guys develop this for us, and we'll kind of monitor you guys once in a while and see where it's at. That's the best way to get around that. Because if you just like, it's like, they're taking this, we're gonna sue them. Then all you're saying, what you're saying is, okay, so fans can't make fan versions of your games now. Is that what you're saying? So you're gonna shut us down for showing appreciation for your games and want to make them look like this? Like, right? This is how it look like on the Switch. You're gonna sue me for this?
Yeah,
I can pay you guys. You can pay me to make this game.
That's what I would do.
And Nintendo's are absolute monsters. They're sharks about this, man.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Like the whole emulator thing.
Yeah, like I've seen so many Pokemon mods and ROMs that get shut down immediately. Like I'm a huge Super Mario RPG fan, and like there's a huge, at least there was a huge community of people modding that game. People cannot actually send out a modded ROM, or else it'll get shut down. They have to decode it so that Nintendo can't do anything with it, and you have to use software so you can bring that game into a full ROM. And like that's the only way that people can do it now. And
Oh
it's
wow,
just crazy.
it's a process now.
Yeah, I think it's like win image, because it comes in like a weird, like, I've done it. It comes in like a weird encrypted file, and if you use like a software like WinImage or something, you can convert it or extract it to turn into like a ROM that you can be able to run. So there's a lot of hurdles, and sometimes those hurdles aren't always worth it. There's just a lot to do.
Nintendo would just do it, then we wouldn't have all these problems.
Right.
I feel like shutting down someone's creativity it just sucks. I'm like, I want to do more outside of Super Mario Maker 2 Nintendo.
Right.
Yeah, because they offered the World Maker, which was kind of cool in the Super Mario Maker 2. I'm sure One Up enjoyed that. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
My daughter was like, Dad, I just built my own world. You know, she's like 9 years old, and she's all, I used your castle as the castle. I'm like, all right, cool.
You know what I want to see next? If we can't do a 3D Mario game maker, let's do either a Zelda maker or a Metroid maker. That's what I want.
That'd be nice.
That'd be cool.
That would be
Metroid.
bad.
You know what's crazy though? Because I thought when it was the World Maker, I thought like you get the generations of worlds as well. Like you get, Super Mario, then Super Mario World, then 3D World, and you can turn those worlds like that. But it looks like you're only stuck using Super Mario World, just that. And then you're limited to 8 stages, so you have to like split up your stages into 4 worlds. So I thought that was kind of, I saw it as like a handicap, because it's like if you have like a library full of stages, it'll be cool to dump them in each world. I did a world. I'm like, okay, there's 3 stages here. I'm like, oh, there's only 2 here. Oh, there's only 1 here. I'm like, why? And I read, I'm like, oh, you only get 8 stages in 4 worlds. Okay, but for those who want to make like a full-fledged Mario game, they can't really do that because you're only stuck with 8 stages.
And what's interesting is like I was trying to make my first level, and I got confused because you have to puzzle them in just the right way, and it doesn't really tell you like a whole lot about that. So when you're trying to puzzle it in, you're like, how come I can't get to my other levels? And so you got to kind of piece it together, because like even though it looks like it could be connected, there's something missing. So you got to kind of figure it out, which is like, it's cool. I mean, it gives you the part that it's supposed to, where you're supposed to think. So
Kotetsu, you can do 8 worlds and 40 levels in your World Maker, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, you can go up to 40 of your levels with 8 worlds.
Oh, because every time I've done them, I only got to like 4. Like it was something on there where it said only 4 state, and I hit this like in almost all the worlds I've done. It said like 4 worlds and like 8 stages. I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. Because like you to be able to have the satisfaction of making a full on Mario game would have been like that. It felt like they were giving you that. I'll give it up to people who can make. I'm not a maker. I'm a player 100%. I sat there and I tried like an hour just trying to do just something simple, a slope, little gaps here and there, and I couldn't connect it. And I was like, I'm done. I can't connect this crap. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm just a player. I'm not a builder. I will give credit is due to everyone who does worlds on my live stream. I'm like, yeah, cool. That was nice. But you will never see me do a world. I will not make you guys sit.
Cool, because that game is for both people. It's for the builder and the player, because you can play the whole storyline side where you can play it, or you can be the builder and you don't have to play the story mode. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. That's one thing I like about that game is I didn't get a chance to play a lot of the Super Mario the 3D Land, and you got a little bit of that flavor inside of that game, so you can kind of play everybody's levels. Like you can even play like beat 'em ups. He has levels on there, so you can play his levels, or any other YouTuber like you guys. If you guys have levels, you can play everybody's, and it's kind of cool. You can connect together.
Yeah. I think I never played the first one, but when I saw the second, I was like, I'll get into it, and I thought, okay, the second one is really cool. And it's crazy how people were still making worlds in the first one before the second one even was really announced. So like the first game had such longevity, even after you weren't getting content, brought to the game, it still had such a longevity. And I think that helped because of the community and, the YouTubers as well, who are continuing to make content for it that continue to make this game last. And I can see this happening with this one, the longevity of it. They just gave us the last DLC we're going to be getting for the game.
Yeah, that's supposedly, that's what they said.
But even if we didn't get that, the longevity of that game would have been intense, because you have people who will continue to upload stuff. You have creators who will continue to, creators like 1UP who will continue to just support the game as crazy, as much as they can, literally until it falls. Yeah, literally until it stops. But I don't think it will ever be dead, just because it's something so unique and something that's never done. Or they've done it, but they've got the formula right. You have RPG makers and stuff like that, but I think Mario Maker has the formula done right, and so that's why that game was going to continue to just strive and just continue to be successful.
Yeah, my biggest regret is I thought about starting a YouTube channel back when Mario Maker 1 came out. And if I would have done reaction videos back then, when I first saw that game, I lost my shit, dude. I never thought Nintendo would make a game like that. I was like, this is something I've never knew I wanted. Dude. This is awesome, And I wish I would have got on the YouTube bandwagon back in Mario Maker 1, because I probably put close to 2,000 hours of that game.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So.
You know what's funny? I was like, I'm gonna get the Super Mario Bros. The Super Mario Bros. Wii U Deluxe. I'm gonna get that. But then when I saw the Super Mario Maker, I'm like, why would I get that now? I could just get that.
I even said that on my channel. I even said that on my channel back when they released it on the Switch, the new Super Mario Brothers. I was like, I'm not buying this game because I know for a fact Mario Maker, either a remaster or Mario Maker 2 is coming out. So I'm pulling off. I'm glad I did, because guess what? 2 months later, they announced it.
Yeah, there was really no point in me. And it looks so fun. I'm like, man, the one thing I wish you can do in Mario Maker, the one thing I wish you can do is you can use your Mii in Mario Maker. I wish you can use your Mii, because it made it, I would have felt more into the game, because my Mii is running around in these Mario levels. How cool would that in 8-bit or 16-bit, and then in full rendered 3D, it would have been so cool to be able to have that.
Or bring back the costumes that the first game had. That was the biggest mistake.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're working on that, because you've seen the frog suit kind of made its way in there, which is super cool.
Oh my god, you guys try that? It's amazing.
My daughter saw it, and I didn't tell her about. I told her there was an update, but I didn't tell her about the second part of the update, just so she can just discover it. She goes, "Dad, the frog suit's in there. Look!" And I was like, "Oh yeah, it was already in there." She goes, "They didn't tell me."
It makes water levels so much fun.
Yeah, and she goes, "Look at the big Goombas. They're so huge." One thing I forgot I wanted to talk about was Nintendo's Nintendo Switch sales going through the roof. I forgot to talk about that. With the Wii U, they sold 13.6 million. The GameCube sold 21.74. N64 sold 32.93. The SNES sold 49.10 million. And Nintendo Switch is in the middle right now. They're at 55.77 million. The NES, 61 million, 61.991 million. The Wii, 101.6 million. So they're climbing, because the Nintendo Switch consoles are right now in existence. People are building Nintendo Switch consoles. I saw that. People are actually building their own, finding parts, replacement parts. And they're getting real creative, because, chances are you might not be able to find one, but it's pretty cool right now, because a lot of people are like, video games, whatever. And now that we're all hunkered down, and they're like, oh man, I got to give me a Nintendo Switch. And I say, to you.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. Because now everybody's gaming, and it's pretty cool. And I say this, I'm not an Animal Crossing fan. No problems to anybody that is, but that right now is Nintendo's number one selling game, and that
100%.
is crazy. And they coupled it with having, like I said, it's digital. So if you missed it on the shelf, people are like, "Who cares? Got to get this game." And I think it has to do with a lot of the social distancing, where you
I agree.
can't be with people physically, so you're able to be with people in a digital realm where it's like a friendly environment, because Nintendo kind of watches over their environment like this. So it's really neat. I'm contemplating getting. My daughter keeps asking me, but kids ask you for things all the time. They'll ask you for 15 things in one day, and the next day they'll ask you for another 15. So it's like,
oh man,
Just buy the game.
when they're persistent enough and they ask me for like 2 weeks straight, then
yeah, because it's like, I want Animal Crossing. Okay, we got it. Why did you get this?
That's same. We got it Minecraft. We have it on their tablets, the Nintendo Switch. We got it on the computer, and they get into Minecraft for a couple weeks and then it's gone. So with kids, I got to pick my battles, because it gets pretty pricey, video games with kids.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I will say this, since we're on the topic of Nintendo Switch sales. I noticed a lot of people on my friends list, like on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, etc. A lot of these people did not have Nintendo Switches before the quarantine. Now they do. And the number one game that they do have, and I've seen pictures, I've seen videos, they all have Animal Crossing.
Yep.
Every single one of them. So I'm pretty sure if Animal Crossing never released, we would still be able to buy Nintendo Switches right now. And I said this before, like if you, and this can go to anybody in the chat, if you guys are interested in getting a Nintendo Switch and you don't have one and you're struggling trying to get one, you have to look on these websites, Target, Best Buy, Walmart, Amazon, every single day, just to make sure you can cop yours.
I think Animal Crossing was a huge sell, not just for units, not just for the game units, but for the consoles in general, because and I think a big thing too is like, you see celebrities playing this game, you're like, what? He's playing?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Like I saw Brie Larson playing. I was like, oh, Brie Larson.
Wow.
I was like, you cool. I'm not gonna get it. I still like you, but that's kind of like,
Even Ronda Rousey's playing this game.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know what's funny? I saw what's his name? Danny Trejo. He was playing. I was like, what? I was like, what's Danny Trejo know about playing Animal Crossing?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, he was on Instagram. He was tagged on Instagram. And I was like, dude, this guy, he's like the best. I call him the OG actor, because he usually plays as like either a gangster or somebody tough, And he was shown on there with Animal Crossing. I was like, wow.
What are you doing playing Animal Crossing?
What about that game? I mean, Animal Crossing gets to a point where I've been playing it for a while, and now I'm out playing it. So what's that game that you're going back to? For me, I'm going back to more Mario Kart and Splatoon. What about you guys? If you are getting tired of one particular game, or if it's Animal Crossing.
Oh, sorry, man. Go ahead.
See, that's hard for me, because I'll say, and I experienced that. Like, I'll go back and like re-download. I'd say this. When I go back and play a game, I'm like, I'm getting tired of this. Let me re-download this. And then I'm re-downloading and playing this. I'm like, I'm already tired of this game I re-downloaded. Like, there's a reason why I deleted this game off my thing in the first place. And I'll go back and play something else. But I think for me, it's really Mario Kart 8 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because I love the Xenoblade Chronicles series. I love it. So being able to play 2 again, even though I've beaten it like 4 times already, it's just, I still have a great time playing it.
Mine is for the Wii. We still have our Wii, and it's 10 years old, strong. But mine's Donkey Kong Country Returns. I always fall back. That's my go-to game for that one. I always come back to it, and then I'll play it so much where I get bored of it, and then I'll come back later on. And my new go-to game, and I got it on the PC, which is Streets of Rage 4. I got it on PC and the Switch, because with kids, you got to have 2 separate consoles if it comes on it. Because my kids can either be a computer pirate or the Nintendo Switch pirate, and sometimes they're both. And I'm like, you know what? At least I got my GameCube and my Wii. I'm good. They call it gamers problems,
Yeah.
But it's cool though.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mr. Switch. Like, I'm not tired of Animal Crossing yet, but I'm finding myself not playing it every day now, like I was before. But I dropped off of Splatoon 2 for quite a while, and I find myself going back to that game as well. I just found, it to be really fun again. I think I was just getting to a point where I was like, okay, I've had enough of this game. But playing with you last night, that was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, you can't kick my butt. Thanks. Man, where do you get those weapons at? I need to get those.
Where the heck did you get that?
how do you have 500 hours?
Oh, you got to play enough to get all those weapons? Because I'm trying to get some good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
dude.
you gotta-
So I have like 500 hours. That's my most played game on my Switch right now, and I literally have about 3 million coins, so I can buy anything in that game. I have every weapon.
Oh,
And
you
then-
go to a store and buy stuff at one of those. Is there like a little store in there? Or?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then you have to rank up too. You have to hit a certain rank too to be able to buy some of those weapons.
Which I'm sure one ups at the max rank with 500
Pretty
hours.
much.
Oh yeah, $500.
Because the first game you can go up to level 99. In this game, once you hit 99, you prestige, and then you get a star next to your number, and you start out back at level 1 again. I haven't even reached that 99 yet. I'm actually at 79.
So what can
Okay.
it be? Ketchup or mayonnaise or mayonnaise or mayo?
Oh, I'm ketchup all the way, man. I hate
Team
mayonnaise.
ketchup, bro.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, every time I get a hamburger, no mayo.
Hey, dude, you
Yep,
gotta have
I'm with you,
mayo
man.
and
I'm with you.
mustard, Man, mayo and mustard.
I don't know about mustard, but I mean, I'll say
If they had mustard, I pick mustard.
no mustard. I
Plus-
remember some.
plus when
Oh,
you-
go ahead.
Plus,
One
when you're
game we
playing
can-
the Splatfest, you want to play with blood, right? You don't want
Blood.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's a big deal.
Yeah, because that destroys kids' life,
Never
childhood.
done a splash fest before.
They purposely made it like an orange is red just for that reason.
No. That's supposed to be ketchup. It's not blood on the ground. Man.
One game we've been playing a lot of is Just Dance with our family. If you look on my thing, it shows that I played so many hours of that because Ubisoft offered it for like 60 days, the unlimited for free.
Oh,
And
nice.
my sister-in-law had bought that for my daughter for Christmas. And so, you don't want to gain a lot of weight during this time. So we ended up putting on a few pounds, and we were just getting our dance on with the kids just to promote health. So that's my most played game right now, just to be honest, because we do it as a family. That's our when we do stuff, we do it a lot as a family. So we play some other games, but our family's very competitive.
Oh
so
yeah, we
like to
can't.
see who's the best.
If you
Yeah,
want another great workout game, try Ring Fit Adventure. That's really awesome too.
Yeah, I heard that was really
I'm
good.
gonna lie,
Trying to find it.
before
I
the
know you can't
pandemic,
find it.
No, they're
we
gone.
had everything in our cart ready to buy before everything started happening, just because we were gonna buy stuff from Amazon.
Mhm.
And for some reason, that didn't end up in our cart, and that was the number one thing that we were gonna buy. And I told my wife, "Hey, did we ever buy the Ring Fit?" And it was like shortly, like 2 or 3 weeks into the pandemic, and I was like, "Oh wow, I gotta go back and buy it." Nope. Went online. Nope.
Yeah, they're gone, man.
A lot of their factories for the Ring Fit, they're using to repurpose for like respirators, masks, stuff like that.
You gotta buy one for somebody for like $200-$300.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Right.
Like you get the game, but like, hey, you want the ring for it? Oh yeah, it's like $200.
That's extra.
So
Yeah.
now I'm suffering with the Wii board.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh, I'm just so curious now because like I was a huge like Dance Dance Revolution person. Like I had a
That
dance
was
pad.
so much
Yeah,
fun.
dude.
That was a
I'm
fun
I'm a
game.
DDR guy too.
I played that a lot.
Did you guys ever play the Mario version?
I skipped
The
that
Mario
one.
version.
I skipped that one.
I played
Yeah.
it once down in
Hold
Chino
on.
at this arcade.
I gotta see.
Oh, he
Hey,
has
really?
it. Check him out.
They have one down in Chino.
Mind
Right
you, I
here,
was in my
guys.
20s then. I was 20.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
there we go.
Oh wow, there you
Dance
go.
Dance Revolution Mario
He
Mix.
still has it.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Oh man, I would get
Can't
that.
find that anymore.
But here's the thing though, like you can't play that on a pad at home. They're literally that. There should be a disclaimer said warning. You will break your neck if you try to play on expert mode on a stupid plastic
yeah.
pad. Oh.
It
Imagine.
moves a lot too.
If you can't do that, you need to practice more. That's all I have to say.
Oh,
Okay, no, I'm sorry.
I haven't played that in years.
I'm
dude.
sorry.
Me and my brother used to play that a lot.
I'm gonna go into a little history about me and DDR. So I had no idea how to play this game. And I remember me and my friends. I used to live in Valencia across from Six Flags, and there was a place there. It was called the Ice Station, and I never used to play this. I was so bad at this game. My friend was like, we're going to train you how to play this game on, on the pad. I was like, all right, fine. So every day after school, we go to Ice Station, we play DDR. And he's like, you're going to play on the slowest one first and see how you do. I was like, all right, fine. All right, play on the slowest. All right, cool. We're going to bump you up. And I was like, all right, let's do this. Bump me up a little bit and bump me up. And then I got to like expert and I'm like, now I know how to do it. And I get a call from my cousins like, yo, we got the new DDR. We got the dance pad. We got everything. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go do it. So I went over their house. Mind you, they have tile flooring on the ground, so there's nothing holding the dance pad. So then I'm playing. I'm like, let me go first. So I'll go first, and I'm like doing an expert. I'm like, okay, this is hard because it's tile flooring. This is a plastic pad, and of course the buttons are trash. You can't always hit everything you need to hit. So I'm like, I still kill it. And then my cousin's like, yeah, we're gonna try it too. And I'm like, hold on. I'm like, you guys know how to play? I like, yeah, we know how to play. We play. I'm like, all right. So then they play on the pad. Half of everyone most likely ate that tile floor trying to play it on the pad. I'm just like, dude, like I can't play this on the pad. I need a metal thing which knows that it will hold my steps, hold my weight, and hit the buttons. That's why I can never play on the pad. But when I go to an arcade, I'll kill it. I'll kill it at a DDR machine. I'll kill it. To the point where people are like, how do you do that? And I'm just like, this is like 10 years of playing. And I have to hold on to the bar and everything because I can't do it freehand.
It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of endurance. Like it's a fun game, but it's also a workout as well.
Oh,
and
yeah,
which I thought was really cool.
Especially on the 200 MPH songs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
Crazy.
gentlemen, we are reached our end of our stream today. Man, it was so awesome. Kotetsu, you just been a world-class act on here, man. You just meshed right in with us. It was really cool to have you on.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be.
All of us really enjoyed having you on, just chalking it up, gaming, nerding it up.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be on here.
All of us, thank you. I mean, it's pretty cool. Like you said, this was our first time in live seeing each other, so it was pretty cool just to be able to get that interaction going on, like we talked about in the stream.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Any last thoughts, anybody, before we end the stream tonight?
I'll say something. I'll say, just going back to just gaming in general and this pandemic right now, like this is like the perfect time to just be able to enjoy, even though we're all in a dire time and some of us aren't working and we're at home. There's always like a silver lining, and I think with gaming has been that one silver lining where you can still interact with people and enjoy just the time you have. Like honestly, like if we had a room here, like just us, and we played like Splatoon or whatever, that'd be like one of the best times I've had since this whole entire pandemic. So, but yeah, we celebrate the little things and just enjoy what we have here. And just like Greg Keekley said, this is like the celebration of gaming like during this time, so we should definitely be able to take advantage of that any way we can.
Okay,
Awesome.
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Switch.
Yeah, definitely want to thank everyone for joining us here today. One Up, Level Up, Black Pokemon Trainer, Kotetsu, Retro Styles, and everyone who joined in on the chat too. I'm checking the chat. We got people like BWA Switch. We got
BWA
Max, and I want to thank all of them for joining us and being part of the stream as well. So again, guys, thank you so much for all this. Anyone else?
Everybody good?
Good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. Let's hit it.
Gentlemen, this is where we
Double
end up
cheeseburger time.
Oh my gosh.
You guys, make sure everybody likes, comments, shares, subscribe to the channel. That's Mr. Switch. And also, you guys will be able to have it available to share on your own channels. So you guys make sure to comment down below. Just want to thank you guys so much. Like I said, Black Pokemon Trainer, Level Up, Kotetsu. Awesome. Looking forward to future streams with you too, Kotetsu.
Yeah, I'm definitely down. Just let me know, man. I'm not doing nothing now. I ain't
Right?
going
None of
nowhere.
us are.
I ain't going nowhere.
Well, a lot of us work from home now, so except for one up, he's probably delivering so many crazy packages that.
Oh, my, dude, it's worse than Christmas. It's
That's a whole different stream.
My
Whole
mailman
different
just said
stream.
that, dude.
yeah. Like as soon as these checks came in, like I'm like tired every freaking day. I just want to go bed right now.
Hey, I fucking my check. You got my check? I haven't got it yet.
Oh,
It's like the stimulus check was like
Bernie.
I'm not getting mine till July, so I'm
July?
patiently waiting. Yeah.
Oh
Bro.
gosh.
I mean, I make too much money for me to get it in May, so.
Oh,
But again, thank you guys for having me. I had an awesome time here, man. I definitely would like to come back here and chill out and grow out and nerd out with you guys again. It was really fun.
sir.
So next
Awesome,
Friday.
dude.
All right, you guys have a wonderful evening. If it's Cali time, you guys make sure to go get your dinner, go eat. Some of you guys, it's already almost 10 o'clock.
Yep,
get-
already is.
That's you, one up.
Yep.
Mr. Switch, it's getting close for you too.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, well, good night, you guys. You guys have a good evening.
Take care,
All right,
guys.
You guys
Thank
take
you
care.
guys. Have a good one.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
If I know how to turn this off.
I think it's leave meeting on there.